my feet, under my feet, under my feet, under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. I went down to the councilman's house and I took back what he stole from me. Took it back my dignity. Took it back my humanity. Went down to the councilman's house and I took back what he stole from me. Took it back my dignity. Took it back my humanity. Under my feet, under my feet, under my feet, under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me. Went down to the White House and I took back what he stole from me. Took it back my dignity. Took it back my humanity. Went down to the White House and I took back what he stole from me. Took it back my dignity. Took it back my humanity. Under my feet, under my feet, under my feet, under my feet. Ain't gonna let no system walk all over me.
I'm kind of like a magician, but my magic is with words. My top-hatted adjectives conjure visions. Hidden up my sleeves are action birds. Get it? Action birds. I make things you know all about sound like things you never heard. Like you just put on a pair of glasses and learn how much your vision's blurred, unearthing beauties right before your eyes, somehow long enshrouded and interred. The simple truths we all forget were the ones that just never occurred, revealing gifts you forgot you had, like my words just lifted a curse. As you remember how blessed you really are, all your backward thinking gets reversed. Things are not as they seem, things are not as they seem. Say it with me now, things are not as they seem. Watch as I remind the tender members of the audience to remember to look past the obvious and be awed by the dance. A many-layered maypole happening all around us, happening to just past these noisy, chaotic curtains that we get so caught up in, surrounded by love, but brimming with nervous. You'd think we're made out of Velcro the way we barely scratch below the surface. Things are not as they seem, things are not as they seem. Say it with me now.
Things are not as they seem.
There is a layer of misperception that acts as a screen. Refocus your attention to see the unseen. Use the illusion. See through the barrage of angry guns and vigil roses. See through the hardwired TV hating on your radio. Until the forces at work upon us, within and without, become clear. Until the forces at work upon us, within and without, become sheer. See-through. Obvious. On the cutting edge of understanding till they find their way to the cutting room floor. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. Until they become conscious, they will never rebel. And until they have rebelled, they cannot become conscious. Orwell. Take it to heart, folks, or we'll cause ourselves much more grief than necessary. It doesn't have to be like this. Please say that with me. It doesn't have to be like this. Don't let yourself be fooled into believing otherwise ever. It's the worst trick in the crook book called Disempowerment 101. This can all be so much better right now. When I say speed, you say up. We can speed up the process. We can speed up the process. We can speed up the process. We just have to make up our minds. Do a little better job of nurturing the heart. Yeah, that thing again. And remember that our humanity is kind of like a soul, and that not listening to its pleas is killing us. I'm kind of like a magician because there is a magic in the words. But really what I am is just another type of nerd, a purveyor of linguistic elements that borders on perverse, as I worship at the feet of a sexy universe, imbuing all of us with creative prowess that we often forfeit to be nursed on the teat of entertainment till our body bubble bursts, succumbing to the emptiness of endless delights, like it doesn't even hurt. A deadening so dull for years it hardly triggers an alert. Yet we have the blood of some of the most courageous people to ever walk the earth running thoroughly through our veins, y'all. We need not feel like dirt. I said I'm kind of like a magician. Hocus pocus is my jam. But my magic is inferred, often not consciously realized, and sometimes takes years to work. Metaphysical hypnosis with verbiage is only about as effective as it is absurd. But with it, I can entrance. Maybe not all of you, but a third? Maybe make the bitterest truth taste like a flamboyant French dessert. Regardless, I'm prepared to light up your rooftop, or we can kick it like a curb. And there I will make you disappear through the portal of what you heard, transport you to distant past or unimagined futures, even though you've never even moved a muscle. Putting you in the box of someone else's skin is just another part of the hustle. As the prestige pops off inside your head like it was packed into a muzzle. Yet soon as you look closer, you see your prints are all over the juggle. And you fall sobbing like a blob of dumbstruck or a dropped piano puddle as you find yourself suddenly figuring out how you fit into this puzzle.
All right.
I've been a part of this group since the beginning of it, pretty much. But I have to say that this past year, 2019, I have gotten to know many of you so much better. And I'm very grateful for that. There's a silver lining to this horrible fucking era. I think that's it. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for your energy and your motivation. It sustains me, and I really appreciate it. This is a beautiful community. It's become kind of like a family a little bit. I don't have any family that lives close to me, none of my direct family anyways. And actually one of the biggest crises of this era is not just Donald Trump and all of the horribleness of him, but I grew up in a conservative Christian background, and so many of the folks who I grew up and share the values of these folks of my family and my community of origin, it's really been a crisis for me to see, like, how can this actually be? How can it be this way? And I still don't have an answer to that. But I did write a poem, and that's been a little cathartic, I suppose. So I want to share it with you tonight. Some maybe would consider it like a profession of faith, I guess you could say. Indoctrination ain't salvation. To come to understanding, you have got to want to know, and initiate the growing to move beyond that flat plateau, because you cannot learn from what you don't want to see. Now, I'm a straight white male, without a doubt lucky to be born to abundant privilege, yet still a refugee. Republic Christianity is the cult I had to flee. Around age 20, I broke free, immersed into the mystery. Questioned answers to the nth degree. As they say, the rest is history. But it's still being cultivated, most likely not indoctrinated. Still skillfully translated as emancipated from mental slavery. Amazing grace, it ain't just sweet. It's got a bit of savory. This road as such is bound to be a path replete with treachery. Still chasing but not catching me, purposefully stretching thee. Calling out them phony Pharisees and money changers in the temple. The collusion of exclusion, it's delusion, plain and simple. Thank you, Jesus, but I don't need you to save me. Heaven is right here and now, connecting us through poetry. Eternity is presently. Though you are free to disagree, perhaps maybe you'll see an epiphany of clarity inside this blasphemy and accept the invitation to escape indoctrination. Equality, assimilation, the mental migration destination. Ain't no time for stagnation, especially when it's looking bleak. Now more than ever, blessed are the peacemakers, and blessed are the meek. Blessed are the merciful who turn the other cheek. Blessed are the pure in heart, and the mystics who still seek. Do this for the least of these, the downtrodden and the weak, with blessings to the most of these, because blessed are the freaks. You know, when love's what you're about, truest metaphors suffice. And although there's nothing wrong with doubt, I'll be taking this advice. Love your neighbor as yourself. When this is emphasized, we give to one another a love that's realized. Thank you.